Namaste, everybody. Good morning, good evening. Welcome back to our Bhagavad Gita deep learning session. We were discussing chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga. So last week we covered the first topic, introduction and the glory of this knowledge. So Vibhuti Yoga on a high level means it is the glory of Ishvara. We talked about that in the introduction. This chapter, Krishna is trying to help us to see Ishvara in the universe. That is the whole idea. So wherever in this universe you see some glory, Krishna is trying to help us to understand that that is Ishvara's glory. So we don't need to see a supernatural Ishvara. We cannot say that we miss Ishvara. We cannot say that we cannot see Ishvara. So making Ishvara visible to us through the manifestations of the Ishvara as various glories in the nature. So in the first three shlokas we completed, we saw the introduction and the glory of the knowledge. And after that,
Electronics, always ahead. Bluetooth mode. Zeb County is now connected.
Okay, somebody is not on mute. Okay. So today we will see shlokas 4 to 7. In shlokas 4 to 7, Krishna is going to explain the glory of Ishvara in brief. And what is the benefit of knowing these glories? After that, he will talk a little bit about the Virat devotees. Virat devotees means the devotees who see Ishvara in the Vishwarupa form. So Vishwarupa form, and he will tell us what is the benefit of understanding, what is the benefit of having such a devotion. And after that, Arjuna is going to do a request. He wanted to elaborate on this Virat form of Ishvara. And that is where Krishna is going to give that detailed explanation from shloka 19 to 42 about the glories. This is the table of content for this chapter. And we covered section 1 or topic 1, which is shloka 1 to 3 in the previous week. So this week, meaning it was introduction and the glory of the knowledge. In the first shloka, Krishna said that I'm going to repeat the Ishvara Surupam, the nature of the God, which because of my love for you, because even though it is a repetition, we paused and we explained why that repetition is important in the study of Vedanta. In the study of Vedanta, this repetition is very important. I quoted even Swami Vivekananda, where he said, like, you need to repeat it until it is part and parcel of ourselves. And why this is being taught? Because of your, meaning my love for you, and the benefit of this is your own well-being, because it is going to give you your well-being as well as it is going to make you more happy. And one more point we highlighted, Krishna was very happy with the student in Arjuna. When the students performs well, when the students shows a lot of interest and enthusiasm, it is natural for any teacher to teach more. And that is why, without even being asked, Krishna started giving his teaching. So that is the first shloka. And in the second shloka, Krishna said that this Ishvara we are talking about, it is very difficult for anybody to understand the origin of that Ishvara, Prabhavam. Neither Manushya or Maharshis, the great sages, or the exalted beings like Devatas, they don't know the origin of Ishvara, because Ishvara was there much before their origin. Both Devas and Ishwaras is the source, meaning Ishvara is the source of Devas and Ishvara. In other words, Ishvara is the fundamental source of every other being. That is what Krishna was highlighting. And in the third shloka, we saw that whoever knows me as the birthless, without beginning, and the controller of all the being, like Ajam, Anadim, and Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, that person will be free from all the delusion, all the illusions, and they will be liberated. This is what we said. And we need to pause and understand that they will be freed from all the sins. They will be freed from all the sins. Means sins here means it is not the original sin. Because, see, we need to be very careful because we are dealing with so many different religious thoughts and school of thoughts where people uses the same terminology with different meaning. If you look at the Abrahamic traditions or the Semitic traditions, the word sin refers to the original sin. People got punished because they disobeyed the word of God. People gets punished because they are under the influence of the negative forces of the universe known as devil. So in the Western worldview or in the Western religious concept or Semitic religious concept, everything good comes from God, or everything comes from God is good. And if at all there is something wrong in the universe.
अन्य में that उबा टुबा पर राख्યું છે હા રોટલી એક બાજુ ઢાકી છે.
I'm sorry, if you're not speaking, can you go
sorry
on
sorry
mute?
sorry
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Okay, no problem. So anything negative or anything adharmic comes from a different force called devil. And this constant battle is going on with God and devil. And the human beings are influenced by devil. And because of that, we are punished by God. So this is complicated, meaning this is the Semitic worldview. The dharmic worldview, whether it is Hinduism, Buddhism, or any such dharmic view, this model is not there. So we don't see the world neither as good nor as bad. It is because of the human actions, we will do good, we will do bad. There is goodness in this universe and the badness in this universe. So that is the worldview. So what exactly is the liberation here? The liberation here is the enlightenment, not going to heaven. We need to understand, because a lot of times we also use the word salvation. After death, we wanted salvation. So that salvation is different from the enlightenment. That salvation is something that you go to a different place called heaven, and there where you enjoy all these merits and demerits, meaning all the goodness. So here liberation means you realize your true nature. A dreamer realizes that I'm not an entity confined only to the dream. I have a larger existence, and that is what is going to liberate him from all the problems. So like that, we realize that this identity currently I perceive as myself is not my complete identity. That is an identity at this point of time, at this place. But I am not confined to that entity. The physical death of this body is not a complete end of my existence. I continue to exist. Just like the end of the dream or the end of the dreamer is not the end of that person. He continues to exist. And that is what the liberation is. That is what the enlightenment is. Let's not complicate the enlightenment. Enlightenment is not you are going to somewhere, someplace. So the person who realizes that what is the source of this universe, he realizes that it is the source of the universe is Ishvara. And when he realizes that that source of the universe is myself, that is what is the enlightenment, Tattvamasi. So that is how Krishna is connecting the thought. So that is the benefit of this knowledge. So this knowledge will free me from the sufferings. That is what it is. So this is what we saw earlier. And now we are going to get into the next topic. So the next topic is Krishna is going to talk about his glories on a very summarized form in a different way. And then on Shloka 7, he is going to give the benefit. So I'm going to start and I'm going to elaborate these topics. We are going to deep dive into every word. So my goal is not to finish X number of shlokas a day. I'll try to, because this is a different topic which usually people read and just leave. So I'm trying to elaborate as much as possible. So let's, and at the end, please ask any questions, because we need to relate to these ancient religious language into a modern terminology and in a way we understand. That is very important. So let's go to Shlokas 4. So Shloka 4 and 5, we are going to see together. So let's listen to the chanting.
बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं च भयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः.
So these 4 and 5 shlokas together forms one long sentence. That is why we try to see these shlokas together. So the key point here is Ishvara is the source of all inner qualities. Earlier we saw that Ishvara is the source of all the outer qualities, outer world. So we saw that all the material in the physical universe is Ishvara. We saw that the sun is Ishvara, the moon is Ishvara, my body is Ishvara, the tree is Ishvara. We saw all that. So now he extends that to another dimension. Along with the external world, along with the Bahya Prapancha, there is an inner world called Antarika Prapancha, Antara Prapancha or Antarika Prapancha. So I, as a human being, experiences an external world. All of you, the earth, the oceans, the sun, the moon, the atmosphere, the air, everything is external to me. That is a universe known to me. But is that the only universe known to me? I know so many things inside me. That is another universe. It may not be physical, it might be a subtle universe. Now Krishna is saying that I am the source of not just that external universe known to you, but I am the source of that internal universe also. Look at the beauty and depth. So let's try to deep dive into this topic. So he's saying that the internal universe and external universe arise from me alone, from Ishvara alone. So the external or universe, we know that it consists of physical objects, physical matter, something you can touch and feel. That is the external world. The internal world comprises of all the mental qualities and dispositions. Mental qualities and dispositions. And these mental qualities are not independent, but again, it is the manifestation of the divine, because that is not the independent. So Krishna is saying that the internal universe, which is referred as Antara Prapancha in Sanskrit, Antara Prapancha. Bahya Prapancha, just like you have the Bahya Prapancha, there is an Antara Prapancha. And that Antara Prapancha he lists various qualities of the internal universe. Internal universe means my own mind, my own intelligence within every living being, And then he says that arises out of him. So let's see. First he says buddhi, intelligence. If every human being exhibits some level of intelligence, and Krishna is saying that intelligence you exhibit, that is my manifestation. So that is the first one, intelligence. The second point he tells here is jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. Knowledge. So all the knowledge you have, everybody has some form of knowledge. Even without being taught, every being has some knowledge. Swami Dayananda used to say that even the baby monkey has some knowledge about gravitation. He or she knows that if I just drop my hand, I will fall down. So it may not be knowing as gravity, but some basic knowledge and intelligence is there in every human being. It is programmed. And also human being has an ability to enhance that intelligence and knowledge. So this buddhi arises from me. The knowledge arises from me. If you really look at your own intelligence and in the knowledge, you can see that is Ishvara. Then asammoha. Asammoha means it is the clarity of thinking. Moha means delusion. Sammoha means special delusion. Asammoha means exactly opposite. Lack of any type of delusion. That means it is the clarity of thinking. Then kshama. Kshama means patience here. It's a quality. It is a quality. Kshama is an internal mental quality. And that quality comes from Ishvara. Then what? Satyam, truthfulness, what you speak or what you think. That truthfulness is a value. It is a quality, resides inside the living beings. And that is Ishvara. Damaha. Damaha means control over the sense organs. The ability to control your sense organs. That is known as Damaha. And that control comes from Ishvara. The next one is Shama. Shama is the control over the mind. The first one is the control over the sense organs, Dhamma. Second one is Shama. Shama is also like
I found this on the web.
sorry. Shama is also mind control. The next one is Sukham. Sukham means it is the happiness, a state of happiness arises out of your mind. That is also Ishvara. Then Dukkham. It's not that just Sukham is Ishvara's manifestation. Even the Dukkha that happens in my mind, it's a manifestation of Ishvara. Bhava. Bhava means the birth of all the emotions and thoughts. That it is all that aspect of the mind which creates all the emotions. That is also Ishvara. Abhava, the dissolution or the resolution of thoughts, that in where all the thoughts disappears, that is also Ishvara. Then Bhayam, the Bhayam is Ishvara. Abhayam, that is also Ishvara. So he enumerated a few mental values, right? And just said that everything is Ishvara. So everything that arises in your mind, manifests in your mind, is Ishvara. That is shloka number 4. Simple explanation. Just like the external universe, this internal universe, everything is. Okay, so that is shloka number 4. So let's go to the explanation of shloka number 5, because we saw that together, right? So shloka number 5. So this shloka number, Krishna just enumerates some additional qualities in shloka number 5. So again, inner qualities, but some additional qualities got enumerated. The first one is ahimsa. Ahimsa means it is, people usually say that it is non-violence. It is not just non-violence. It is a mental attitude, a mental quality, attitude of not hurting or hurting anybody. That is what is ahimsa. So ahimsa paramodham, it is said that. So the mental attitude, you don't want to hurt anybody. That's it. Then the second one is samatha. Samatha is equanimity. Equanimity means it is the mental poise and balance. Then tushtu. Tushtaha means contentment, being satisfied with what you have. So that quality is also arises from Ishvara. Tapaha, austerity, discipline, or self-control is known as tapaha. That is Ishvara. Dhanam. Dhanam means the charity, generosity. All these is dhanam. And that is also Ishvara. Yashas. Yashas means fame. The positive recognition of yourself. Ayashas, ill fame. This is whatever you exhibit, that is all Ishvara. So all these qualities describes the emotional and moral attributes that comes from the mind. And Krishna is, in one sentence, he is saying that all that is God. So please don't think that it's just limited to what is enumerated here. It is etc., etc., etc. So if you read Daniel Goleman's book and see that 128 emotions are there, you need to extend to that. Every emotions, every thought, every quality that comes in your mind. In other words, every emotions you feel, every thought you entertain, it all came from Ishvara. Ishvara is the foundation. That doesn't mean that Ishvara is not identified with that thought. Right? That's it. How? So this, like Ishvara is the foundation of all these things, but Ishvara is not directly affected with that. Remember in the chapter 9, chapter 7, all we saw that. The best example is you are watching a movie. In that movie, there is great charity, great act of charity, or great show of love is there. What exactly gives existence to that act of charity? And the showing of that divine motherly love, or parents' love. It is the light. Because of the light, that happens. On the other hand, in that movie, you can see extreme violence also, really bad violence. An act of cruelty is also you can see. And obviously, from where that act of violence, what exactly gives support? What is the foundation of that showing? It is again light. But is light is responsible for that violence? Absolutely not. Is light is responsible for that act of charity also? No. Light only gives existence and foundation. Like that, Ishvara gives that foundation. Everything, whether it is good or bad, arises from you, is coming from Ishvara. This is the vision of the Veda. This is very much different from the Semitic concept. So it makes you responsible for who you are. It gives you control or power to live in that path of good. This is very important. So, in other words, this shloka simply says that every mental emotions and thoughts, it came from Ishvara. So, a few more points. So, all these dispositions, bhava, are born from Ishvara. He tells, matta evaha. All bhavaha, matta evaha. Matta means from me alone. Matta eva pratak vidah. Each of these qualities arises from Ishvara in various forms, depending upon the nature of the human being. So, the origin of everything, the existence of everything, of all emotions, all thoughts, as is Ishvara. So, that's it. So, This is the essence of this particular shloka. In other words, as I said, like Ishvara is the cause of everything, both internal, which includes all the thoughts and emotions, and external, all the physical world. This is the essence of this shloka. Two shlokas together. Let's listen to this shloka one more time.
बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं च भयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः.
So now let's go to Shloka 6. Let's listen to the chanting.
महर्षयः सप्त पूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भावा मानसा जाताः येषां लोक इमाः प्रजाः.
Again, it is beautiful. He says, Esham Loka Ima Prajaha. All Praja means all the beings. All the beings in this world, Loka Imam, in this world, have originated from me. So, this idea is presented through a Puranic concept. So, let's try to deep dive into the shloka. So, the first point he is saying is Maharshaya Saptaha. So, Maharshaya Saptaha means Sapta Rishis, the 7 ancient sages known as Sapta Rishis. So, Krishna is saying that all these Sapta Rishis were born from the Ishvara directly. So, according to the Puranas, I don't know how many of you read those stories, Vishnu Purana or any such Purana. When the universe was created, the creator, the Brahmaji, he wanted this universe to go well. So he created 2 sets of people. One is called the Sapta Rishis, and the other one is the 4 Kumaras. This is Purana. There is nothing related to Gita here, but Krishna just wanted to establish a connection. So these Sapta Rishis' job was to teach the universe how to live the life, the Karma Yoga, or a discipline of knowledge known as Pravritti Lakshana. Pravritti Lakshana means how to act in the world. And the second category of people, gurus, were the 4 child-like sages. The 4 Kumaras. Kumaras means they are in the teenage. So these 4 Kumaras are Brahmaji's Manasaputra. The names are Sanat Kumara, Sanaka, Sanandana, and Sanatana. These are the 4 kids. And the job of these kids was to create a teaching lineage which talks about the Nivritti Marga. So the Sapta Rishis was instructed to teach the universe with the Pravritti Marga, with the discipline of action, the discipline of hard work, whereas the Sanat Kumaras, the Kumaras, were initiated to teach the Nivritti Marga. So, if you really look at the Vedic idea, The whole Vedic idea is say that the human life will be fruitful only when you try to balance this pravritti and nivritti. Let me explain one more time. The human life will find meaningful. The human life will be meaningful and prosperous only when you combine these two aspects. One is the pravritti lakshana, which is the nivritti lakshana. If all the humanity will say that we don't work, we will just go to Himalayas and do the tapas, how the world will run? How does the children will grow? Who is going to educate them? So you cannot do that alone. And if you say that we only work, we don't do any spiritual practices, you will create a society with full of cruelty and no ethics. So when you combine these two in the world, the pravritti lakshana and nivritti lakshana, not just combine in the world, when you combine this in yourself itself, if you take your own life, that life cannot be just pravritti, life cannot be just nivritti. So when you balance this pravritti and nivritti, our life becomes meaningful, isn't it? If you are 100% spiritual, means you are sitting in the puja room 24/7. Is that a nice lifestyle? Absolutely not. And if you just work, if you are extra worth 100%, you don't care about others, you don't care about spirituality, you work, and making money is my only objective, that also won't work. So ideal lifestyle for a human being is a mixture of pravritti, or the right balance of pravritti and nivritti. And that is why these two set of teaching lineages were formed. One is the Sapta Rishis, the 7 sages were initiated to teach the world the lifestyle of pravritti, and the Kumaras were initiated to teach the world the lifestyle of nivritti. I cannot say that I need only pravritti. I cannot say that I only nivritti. So ideally, we need this from both. This is just a background to understand this shloka. Then what happened? Then the first human being came out. So as per the mythology, as per the Purana, the first human being was Manu. Manu, just like Adam in the Semitic religion, you have the Manu. All the human beings are known as Manavas because they were descendant of Manu. So this Manu and Shatarupa came from Brahmaji itself. So from the Brahmaji itself, Manu, Shatarupa, the 7 sages, and the 4 Kumaras came from Brahmaji. Here Krishna is saying that all that came from me only. So their lineage is the entire humanity. And hence, Yesham, therefore, all the beings, prajas of this world have originated from me. So if you go back and try to reread the shloka, right? So he say, Maharshaya Saptaha, Saptapurve. Maharshaya Saptapurve means the 7 great sages. And Chatvara, the ancient 4, the 4 Kumaras, the Devarshis, the 4 Kumaras, they came from me only. And then the 14 Manus, each Manu for one cycle. So the 14 Manus, all these Manus were born from my nature, Mat Bhava, Manasa Jata. So all these came from me. So then from them, Yesham, from them, the whole beings, all the universe came into being. So in other words, I am the cause of everything. So these Sapta Rishis we talked, and then we said that they represents the Pravritti Marga, guiding householders and social activities. These Rishis, these Sapta Rishis, Atri, Mariji, Vasishta, those 7 sages, they are prominent figures in the Vedic period and the Puranic textbooks. And then the four Kumaras, we talked about that. Unlike Sapta Rishis, which who teaches the Pravritti Marga, these Kumaras teaches the Nivritti Marga, the spiritual contemplation and the path of liberation. And the 14 Manus, Manus, as I said, like they are the first human being. And there are 14 Manus, each Manu presiding over a particular age. So we are at the time of the 7th Manvantara, and the Manu that in our age, as per the Purana, is known as Vaivaswaka Manu. Vaivaswaka Manu. So when you do the rituals and all, they say, right, in the Sapta Manvantare, Jambuddibe, etc. So this is what it is. So this is a Puranic idea. Krishna borrowed that idea just to explain that, just to say that the sages, Manus and Kumaras came from me. So that is the 14 Manus. And then all these Kumaras, Rishis and Manus came directly from Ishvara. Manasa Jada, they are known as Manasa Putras of Brahmaji. Just from Brahmaji's thought, they manifested. That is what the Purana. And then what happens? Their descendant is the entire universe. So, Yesham Loka Ime Prajaha. From these Rishis, Manus, all these universe came forth, and all the beings and the other forms of life are descendants of these Manus and Rishis. So that is why Krishna is saying that is the Matbhava. Even these Rishis and Manus came out of me. So indirectly, every being came out of me. That is what it is. The sloka. So we covered 3 shlokas today, and the next shloka mainly is going to talk about the benefit of this knowledge, knowing this. And after that, we will get into the Virat form of the devotees. So let's do a quick recap in the next 2 minutes, and then we can have a quick Q&A. So Krishna said, just like the external universe, everything is me. The sun is me. The plant is me, right? All the Panchabhutas are me. Like that, the entire internal universe, every thoughts you entertain, every emotion that comes to your mind, I give existence to them. I am the source of that. Not just good, everything. So, just to give that, Krishna enumerated a few good qualities and a few something not so good also enumerated. Just showing that every thought and everything in the internal universe is me. That is Shloka 5 and 6. And then Shloka 6, he mentioned that the origins of the humanity, not just the Manus, the forefathers of all human being, and the first two sets of teachers. One is the Kumaras, who teach the Nivritti Lakshana, and the Saptarishis, who teaches the Pravritti Lakshana. Everything came from me. In other words, everything in the universe is my manifestation. Everything came from me. So he's setting the stage, and now he's going to slowly trying to show you. So this is what we wanted to cover today. So let's pause here